Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for July 19th, 2019. This is the show where I give you a quick look at some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. If you want to learn more about these stories, in the show notes down below I'll put a link to each story so you can read them for yourself. Come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. If you are new here, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we're doing, and hopefully we can help you break free from the high-cost cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Well, let's dive into it because we have a lot happening today. Real quick reminder, if you're looking for a particular story, in the first comment and in the show notes, I list each story in the order we talk about them with links there. That'll give you an idea of where to jump into the video to watch a particular story. First though, a quick deal alert. Sling TV is offering a free trial of the Lifetime Movie Network. It's now live and it runs until July 22nd. So if you're a fan of Lifetime, you've been thinking about getting the movie channel, and if you are a Sling TV subscriber, you can get the Lifetime Movie Network for free between now and July 22nd. So check that out. All right, let's dive into the news. Back in April, we learned that Verizon was going to start selling YouTube TV for both wireless and Fios customers. Yesterday, Verizon started to sell the YouTube TV as part of their Fios bundle. So you can get Fios Internet for $39.99 for their high-speed all-fiber network, and get YouTube TV there 1 month for free, and then standard $49.99 thereafter. No special discounts here, but you do get the ability to manage your subscriptions through one bill. And it's a way for AT&T, Verizon, I'm sure, to get a bundle. A little slip there. So much AT&T news recently. But I'd love to know what you think about this idea. Now, this isn't new. Other ISPs have been doing things like this with Sling and other providers. So I'd love to hear what you think of this. What do you think of the idea of having your live TV streaming service bundled through your home internet? Even if it's not a discount, do you like the idea that it's one less bill to manage? It's a little easier to just have one bill to pay than to remember multiple ones out there. So I'd love to know what you think of this. Leave me a comment, let me know. But link down in the show notes below if you want to get the full details on that $39.99 internet plan, along with the free month of YouTube TV. Now AT&T. I was reading ahead and talking, it doesn't always work very well. AT&T has been saddled with all kinds of debt. According to reports, they are over $137 billion in debt right now. And now AT&T's been desperately looking for ways to lower their debt. AT&T CEO said lowering the debt of AT&T is a main priority this year. They've already sold back part of Hulu for that. They've already sold other assets now, and they've reportedly been looking at selling their AT&T sports nets. And now, according to Reuters, they are looking at selling their Puerto Rican business, Puerto Rico business, I apologize, to some potential buyer. According to Reuters, this is so far along that they've hired a manager to help manage the sale here. Reports are that this could bring in about $3 billion, which may not sound a lot, but when you're looking at over $130 billion in debt, but knocking off $3 billion is a significant amount of interest right there that they won't be paying every month. So AT&T's, most of this debt came from buying DirecTV and Time Warner. Not all though. A lot of it also came from rolling out the infrastructure, 5G investments, etc. But it's very interesting to see AT&T now desperately looking around for ways to get money back. This was supposed to be a big move for the company, and it has been a big move for the company. But now they're saying, hey, let's sell off maybe AT&T Sportsnet, let's sell off our Puerto Rico business, and more. So I'd love to know, what do you think? What do you think of AT&T selling off these different segments? Which one do you wish they sell off? I know a lot of readers were very excited to hear that AT&T was at least considering selling AT&T Sportsnet, because that could mean, hey, it could go to somebody who's maybe more cord cutting friendly, maybe actually interested in putting them on more streaming services. I'd love to know what you think of this. Leave me a comment. YouTube, all right. Top 10 questions I often get asked. One of them has to be, what are the best free apps? Now, we do know about YouTube. YouTube is a great free app to watch a ton of free content 100% legally. But what are other great apps out there to watch free content? So we put together a list. We've done this in the past for Roku and Fire TV. Today we did this for the Apple TV. Top 10 free Apple TV apps that every cord cutter should try if you own an Apple TV. Many of these apps are on other devices, but this was for people who use the Apple TV. We break them down in no particular order. We have things on there like Stir, Pluto TV, Xumo, etc. I'd love to know though what you would consider the best free Apple TV apps. Now, keep them to the official Apple TV App Store, please. Let's stay away from any third-party, slightly piracy apps. But I'd love to hear from you what you think are the best top 10 free Apple TV apps for cord cutters. You can check out my list down below. I'll put a link to it down there. All right, moving along to another story I've heard a lot about, and I really want to talk about this a minute because I talked about this a little over a week ago now, and got a lot of people pushing back on this. And this was the idea that Netflix would be running ads in the future, right? A bunch of Netflix competitors and people who own ad companies came out and said Netflix will have to run ads, and the doomsday machine started to turn and turn and turn, and people were heavily pushing the idea that, hey, oh, Netflix is going to get ads, it's the end of cord cutting. Well, we wrote a story that said, no, our sources pretty much tell us that's not happening, and there's a history here of this not happening. Now, Netflix does have ads, and I'll talk about it, but they don't have the traditional ad breaks like you would see on Hulu, for example. But now Netflix has come out and clearly said, no, we have no intention to run ads now or in the future. This came out yesterday during their second quarter 2019 earnings call, and Netflix pushed back against the rumors out there. Now, a couple things I really want to caution about with this is it's very easy to be in a doomsday atmosphere. Doomsday stories do really well. If I write a story that says Netflix is running ads, it does a lot better than a story that says Netflix is not going to run ads. If I write a story that says, the end of the world is coming tomorrow, is a much more successful story than, hey, everything is great, tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day. People will much less likely to read a tomorrow is a beautiful day story versus, hey, doomsday is coming tomorrow type story. I always say there's the everything is going to be awful, and there's the everything that's going to be fine, and don't worry. And the truth is somewhere in between doomsday and it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. So my recommendation with these kind of stories is always read both ends of it, and then understand that the truth is somewhere in the middle. And it's been true on many different services, many different ones out there. We hear this all the time, right? Pluto TV will eventually become a paid service. Viacom has repeatedly said they won't. Netflix is going to run ads. Netflix has repeatedly said they won't run ads, and more. So always take this kind of stuff with a grain of salt when you see it, because it's very easy to get stuck in the doomsday scenario. Now, will Netflix run ads? Yeah, they already do actually. You ever watch a show and see all the cars are Ford? How about new Coke in Stranger Things? Prominently placed Coke all over Stranger Things this year. All holding it just right that the label just looks perfect at the camera. Right there. Let's be honest. That's a product placement there, partnership with Coke. I mean, Coke is even running a relaunch of new Coke, and they're even having Stranger Things themed kits out there and more. These are product placement. These are ads in Netflix shows. Now, Netflix says, though, they don't want to run traditional network-style ads. And so far, they seem to be being pretty successful at it and being very vocal about this is the future we want. This is not what we don't want to move into a Hulu-type ad atmosphere there. So I just wanted to be very clear on that. I really do want to talk about the doomsday scenario I hear from a lot of people, because let's be honest, it's very easy to fall into the everything's going to go awful, right? I hear it all the time. Someday in the future, cord cutting will be cost more than cable. Someday in the future, Pluto TV won't be free. Someday in the future, cable companies are going to just find a way to make internet more expensive than TV, etc., etc. It's very easy to just focus on the negative and then to focus on the positive. So just keep that in mind. That when you see these doomsday stories, remember people write those a lot because they're horribly successful. A story that is doom and gloom will get a ton more views than a story that is positive. So I always recommend you try to read both sides of the story. The positive, nothing's wrong, and the world is coming to an end story. And understand the truth will be somewhere in between those two, would be my recommendation. That's what been kind of my rule of thumb. and it's been very successful for us so far. So I hope you understand that. I hope you read both sides of an argument and then use your own decision making to say, hey, does this sound like a doomsday more likely than everything's going to be fine? So just keep that in mind. All right, last story up of the day. And I'd love to know, what do you think of Netflix's plans? Do you think they're foolish not to run ads? Do you think that they should or shouldn't? I'd love to hear from you. Last story up of the day, and this one's more of an editorial that I've had to write because I've had so many questions about the future of DirecTV Now. AT&T came out last month, the CEO of AT&T, and was very clear in the CNBC interview that they intend to merge DirecTV Now into HBO Max. We now know it's called HBO Max. They intend to have a unified app with one search, one unified experience, and that eventually it'll merge all in and so forth. Now, from my understanding, from reading it, dissecting everything CNBC said that the CEO of AT&T told them, it sounds a lot like Hulu. You're going to have a base package of HBO Max, which would be an on-demand only Hulu-like limited commercial plan. Then you will be able to get a live TV tier of HBO Max, which will be the DirecTV user interface inside the HBO Max app or some type of setup there where they'll merge them together, because they did clearly use the word merge, eventually merge the two of them together. And then he was also very clear, it'll be one app with one user interface with one searchable for both on-demand and live TV. Sounds a lot like Hulu, doesn't it? So it sounds like the future of DirecTV Now is HBO Max in a Hulu-esque setup. Now, a lot of people have been asked questions. Luke, does this mean I'll get live TV for the $16 or $17 that's rumored for HBO Max? No. I expect that will be the base package for on-demand only, which is about $1 or $2 more than current HBO, with a ton of additional content added in. The question is, will HBO or DirecTV still be $50 inside HBO Max? I don't know that. What does it mean for the name of DirecTV Now? I would expect that the DirecTV Now name would go away and HBO Max would be the one. HBO Max with live TV or HBO Max with AT&T TV, whatever they want to call it. I expect that to be the name. I would be surprised if they keep the DirecTV Now name, because HBO is a much better brand name. And if you're going to pick between HBO as a name and DirecTV as a name, HBO has probably got a better brand name that will drive more subscribers. So that's where I would go with it. What should current DirecTV Now customers know and do and fear? For now, nothing. HBO Max doesn't launch until spring of 2020. It's a long ways off. I know it feels like it's right around the corner, but still over half a year from now. And they said eventually, so it may not launch at the exact day, but it is coming. It will merge according to AT&T's CEO. Now, if you want to read the full breakdown of everything we know about the future of DirecTV Now, if you want to read word for word what AT&T CEO reportedly told CNBC, I'll put a link in the show notes down below. A few notes though. Let's say CNBC misquoted AT&T CEO. It's been up for a month. There was one update to the story, but they didn't change that quote. I've talked to AT&T's PR staff. They've never asked us to correct or alter or anything that was reportedly said by AT&T CEO in that interview with CNBC. And we talk to AT&T's PR surprisingly often, actually. So I do believe that this is what was told CNBC. CNBC is standing behind what AT&T CEO reportedly told them. So I would just keep that in mind. Well, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I hope you all take care. I hope you all have a fantastic summer vacation. If you're going to be gone next week, I know it's kind of that time of the year where everybody's heading out of town to the campground, to the beach, to the pool, wherever it may be. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back Monday with more cord cutting today also. So take care, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for your support. Ring that notification bell. Hard to believe 80,000 subscribers. So thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.